In 1914, 28 men set sail for the coldest, harshest place on Earth, Antarctica. Their leader was Sir Ernest Shackleton, a man obsessed with one impossible dream: to cross the entire frozen continent on foot. What followed was not a tale of glory. It was a fight for life against the ocean, the ice, and time itself. This is the true story of the Endurance expedition, where 28 men were trapped for over 500 days, with no food, no rescue, and no hope. Or so the world thought. The year was 1914. The world was slipping into war, but Shackleton had his eyes on a different kind of battle, one with nature. He gathered a crew of 27 men, sailors, scientists, a carpenter, and even a photographer named Frank Hurley, whose camera would later capture the impossible. Their ship, Endurance, was built from oak and pine, reinforced to survive the Antarctic ice. It was strong, but the ice does not care how strong your ship is. In January 1915, disaster struck. As they sailed deeper into the Weddell Sea, the ocean froze around them. Within days, they were trapped, locked in a frozen wasteland just 60 miles from land. Shackleton wrote in his journal, "The ship is held fast, like an almond in a piece of toffee." Days became weeks, weeks became months, and still there was no escape. By October, the ice crushed the ship from all sides. The wood twisted and groaned until the hull began to break apart. Shackleton gave the order no leader wants to give: abandon ship. They salvaged what they could: tents, food, lifeboats, and Hurley's glass photo plates, saved from freezing waters. Now they were stranded on a drifting ice floe, with no radio, no map, and no one knowing they were alive. Shackleton told his men, "Ship and stores gone. Now we must go home." That sentence became their reason to survive. Shackleton kept his men's spirits alive. He organized routines, shared meals, played games, and told jokes to fight the madness. Food ran low. They hunted seals and penguins, melted ice for water, and endured freezing temperatures every day. As the months passed, the ice floe drifted north toward open water. One morning, the ice began to crack beneath them. There was only one choice: take to the lifeboats. For 7 brutal days, they rowed through freezing waters. Waves smashed their boats, their faces blistered with frostbite, and sleep was a luxury they could not afford. Then they saw land. Elephant Island, a barren rock. For the first time in over a year, they stood on solid ground. But they were still stranded, far from any ship routes, with no one coming for them. Shackleton made a decision that bordered on madness. He would take one of the lifeboats, the James Caird, and sail 800 miles across the Southern Ocean to reach South Georgia Island, a remote whaling station. 5 men volunteered to go. The others stayed behind, watching their leaders sail into the storm, unsure if they would ever see him again. 16 days. That's how long they battled waves taller than buildings, freezing spray turning to ice on their faces, winds screaming in their ears. Death seemed inches away at times, but somehow they made it. They reached South Georgia, half dead but alive. There was just one problem. They had landed on the wrong side of the island. The whaling station was across mountains and glaciers no human had ever crossed. Shackleton and 2 men set out on foot. For 36 hours they climbed ice, snow, and blizzards. Finally, they heard a whistle, a sound they hadn't heard in over a year. Civilization. They had made it. Shackleton did not rest. He had one mission left: to save his men. For months, ice blocked every rescue attempt, but he refused to give up. Finally, on August 30th, 1916, after 497 days trapped in the Antarctic, the rescue ship broke through the ice. The men ran to the shore, cheering, crying, and waving their arms. Shackleton counted them one by one. Every single man was alive. Not one life was lost. After 500 days of isolation, starvation, and unimaginable cold, all 28 survived. Shackleton did not just save his crew. He proved that leadership is not about glory. It is about courage, loyalty, and faith, even when the world around you is frozen in darkness. When life feels impossible and everything seems lost, remember this story. They lost their ship. They lost everything. But they never lost their will to endure. As Shackleton showed the world, the human spirit is unbreakable. If this story amazed you, hit like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs a reminder that even when the odds are frozen solid against you, never give up. Sometimes, endurance is the only thing that keeps us alive.